March of 1998, Amy Bradley, a 23-year-old woman, vanished from a cruise ship en route to Curaçao. It was a baffling mystery that left her family desperate for answers. 7 years down the line, their quest for closure took a surprising turn when they received an enigmatic photograph, suggesting a potential breakthrough in Amy's fate. March 21, 1998 marked the beginning of a memorable voyage for the Bradley family, consisting of parents Ron and Iva, along with their children Amy, age 23, and Brad, age 21. They embarked on a luxurious adventure aboard the cruise ship Royal Caribbean International Rhapsody of the Seas, which would take them on a captivating itinerary from Puerto Rico to Aruba and Curaçao. Amy Lynn Bradley came into this world on May 12, 1974. She pursued her education at Longwood University, where she successfully obtained a degree in physical education teaching. Amy was not only academically accomplished, but also displayed her athleticism as a valuable member of the local basketball and swimming team. Additionally, she dedicated some of her time working as a lifeguard during a certain period of her life. And thus, on March 21, 1998, Amy, accompanied by her family, embarked on a cruise bound for Curaçao. During the second night of their journey, Amy and her brother Brad made the decision to attend a party held at the ship's Mardi Gras nightclub. The evening's entertainment featured the band Blue Orchid, and among its members was Alastair Douglas, also known as Yellow, who appeared to be showing Amy considerable attention. The two danced and enjoyed themselves thoroughly. Eventually, at around 1:00 a.m., the band retired to their stateroom, preparing for another concert scheduled for the following day. At approximately 3:35 a.m., Brad and Amy made their way back to their quarters. The ship's computerized door locking system indicated that Brad re-entered his stateroom at precisely 3:35 a.m., with Amy following just 5 minutes later. According to Brad's account, he and his sister spent some time chatting on the balcony, after which he drifted off to sleep. Around 5:30 a.m., Ron awoke and noticed his daughter, Amy, asleep on a chaise lounge on the balcony. He checked to ensure Amy was still sleeping, and then he himself dozed off once more. The balcony door remained closed. Ron had ensured it was shut to prevent any drafts. At 6:15 a.m., he roused again, only to discover that Amy had vanished. She had disappeared, leaving behind her cigarettes and lighter, although her sandals remained on the balcony. Ron attributed his inability to hear her departure to his deep slumber. Following his discovery of Amy's absence, the father embarked on a search of the ship's public areas before promptly informing Willow and Brad of the situation. Without hesitation, they reported Amy's disappearance to the ship's crew and requested that they restrict disembarkation until Amy was located. Surprisingly, the crew seemed hesitant to disturb the other passengers and responded to the Bradley family by suggesting it was too early for official announcements. They entertained the possibility that Amy might be enjoying herself in the company of new acquaintances within their cabins. It wasn't until 7:50 a.m., well after many passengers had disembarked in Curaçao, that an announcement was made, calling for Amy to come to the check-in desk. The ship's crew had limited access to the passengers' cabins, so their initial search efforts were restricted to the common areas. Authorities initially entertained the possibilities that Amy might have accidentally fallen overboard, perhaps due to alcohol-related dizziness, or even taken her own life. However, these hypotheses were refuted by Amy's family. She was an adept swimmer, and her body was never recovered. Moreover, she had a stable job and a new apartment in Virginia, and she had recently acquired a dog, indicating a positive outlook on life. On the day Amy Bradley disappeared, two fellow passengers informed Ron that they had seen a woman resembling Amy riding an elevator to the ship's deck, carrying cigarettes and a lighter. Another witness, a taxi driver, recalled a woman who matched Amy's description urgently seeking a place to make a phone call, but he didn't know where the nearest phone booth was located. The Bradley family harbored suspicions about the ship's crew, particularly noting that members of the music group showed unusual interest in Amy. Ron recalled a waiter passing notes to Amy on behalf of the lead singer of the band, proposing that she spend the upcoming night at Carlos and Charlie's when the ship docked in Aruba. Amy politely declined the invitation. Intriguingly, Carlos and Charlie's restaurant was the last known location of Natalie Holloway, an 18-year-old American woman who disappeared in Aruba in 2005. Frustrated by the lack of assistance from authorities, who seemed to favor the theory of an accident or a drunken fall overboard, the Bradley family hired private investigators. In August 1998, 5 months after Amy's disappearance, Two Canadian tourists spotted a woman on a beach who closely matched Amy Bradley's description. This woman bore the same distinctive tattoos as Amy: a Tasmanian devil with a basketball on her shoulder, a sun on her lower back, and a Chinese character on her right ankle. In 1999, a retired Navy man visited a brothel in Curaçao and encountered a woman who identified herself as Amy Lynn Bradley. She pleaded for help, but the man, fearing scandal, refrained from reporting the incident at the time. Only after he saw Amy's face in a People magazine article did he recall the encounter. In 1998, a man named Frank Jones claimed to be a former U.S. Army officer who could rescue Amy from armed Colombians, supposedly holding her in Curaçao. Amy's father, initially believing his story, provided Jones with $200,000 before realizing he was a fraud. Amy Bradley's sightings continued years after her disappearance. 6 years later, a tourist named Anne Grace asserted that she saw Amy in a department store restroom on the island of Barbados. The woman, who appeared distressed, was accompanied by two men. Anne offered assistance, and the woman responded that she couldn't talk to anyone and identified herself as Amy from Virginia. In 2005, the Bradley family received an email containing a photograph of a woman who bore a striking resemblance to Amy. This email had been sent by a member of an organization dedicated to locating victims of human trafficking. The photograph had been discovered on an adult website by one of their volunteers, who noticed a strong likeness between the woman in the photo and Amy. The Bradley family, desperately holding on to hope that their daughter might still be alive, clung to this lead. Despite the initial optimism and the confirmation of several experts who believed the woman in the photo was Amy, subsequent investigations revealed that the individual in question was, in fact, a woman named Jazz. She was involved in adult services and had no connection whatsoever to Amy Bradley. The official investigation ultimately maintained the theory that Amy either accidentally fell overboard or took her own life, aligning with the initial suspicions of the authorities. Tragically, on March 24, 2010, 12 years after her disappearance, Amy Bradley was officially declared deceased.